The Talking Leeds podcast, match reaction with Arron Marshall and Gerry McNamee.
Hello and welcome to Talking Leeds Match Action with me, Arron, and of course, Mr. Gerry McNamee. And this is a bit of a strange one. We're reflecting on West Ham United 2, Leeds United 2, and they won 4-2 on penalties, Gerry. We are going, my friends, to an FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. We're off to Wembley, Gerry. It's a very strange feeling. I said to you off air, I've never experienced this before in my lifetime, and now I can.
We shouldn't be going to Wembley, really. We should be going to Villa Park or somewhere. But this is weird because you were there and I wasn't.
Yes, role reversal this time.
I've been poorly, and I've been rough all the way. I couldn't travel. I was subjected to TNT coverage, to Darren Fletcher and Ali McCoist's bants. I just only swear I hate current football commentators and pundits, bants, and they were never shut up about, the crowd's leaving, isn't that funny? Oh, there's Danny Dyer. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it was awful. That was dreadful to watch, and anybody who's watching. Also, as Paul Rushford says there, you get texts on the 89th minute saying, we've done it, we've won through. And Paul, I went, shh.
I know.
This fella here texts.
I'm sorry, Gerry. It was my fault. Because in that second half, we thought we were absolutely cruising here, and then they just completely sabotaged. So I do owe you an apology, Gerry, and I do owe Paul.
And I've got punch bag here behind me, and that took a battering throughout the game, whether we scored or this is historic in the sense I'm old. I remember the 72 Cup final as my earliest Leeds memory. I remember the Birmingham semi-final as very early memory. I remember we played Sunderland 73, and I thought, we get to the Cup final every year. This is great. We've not been to Cup final since we got to the 77 against Man United. We froze 2-0 down after about 15, 20 minutes. I remember I cried that day. I was broken-hearted. 87, I remember it was pre-TV days, if you like, football. And Ulster Television, I lived in Ireland at the time, was on strike. So we couldn't see the game. I think it showed it later. And I remember driving, and David Rennie scored, and then Keith Edwards got an equaliser, and what was the name of the guy? Bennett scored the winner. And again, broken heart. And we've, other than a couple of quarters, we've not even been close. So for a whole new generation, this is new. Yes, we can talk about Wembley shouldn't have semi-finals, but it's going to be, it's brilliant. And where do you start with all this? Where do you start? There's so much. I mean, the last game we did, Brentford, nothing to talk about. There's so much. I randomly just penalties. That goalkeeper coming on, you thought, this is the story. This little prick, little spiv from London. Artful dodger, and he thought he's going to be the story.
His first team debut,
Roy of the Rovers. It was written. We had injuries, penalties. Should have had a penalty.
Saved the first as well, didn't they?
Bad refereeing again. Foot high goal. Nothing looked at offsides. Tanaka was brilliant. Brendan came on. Chelsea Stack should have had a penalty. Rodon injured. Willie's flick could have been 3-0. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know where to go with all this. Shall we start at the beginning?
Let's start at the beginning.
How was your day? How was the stadium? You tell us. It is a dump. It's a tax gift to West Ham, who paid $2 million for it.
Well, I had a nice little look around the closed Westfield shopping centre. I thought, right, okay. Paid 20 quid for burger and chips or whatever I had. Which is just like, wow, this is just scandalous. The atmosphere is appalling. It's not a football ground. And you can see the athletics track, in the Olympics, it was fantastic. football? No. That's that rant about the Olympic Stadium, the London Stadium. They should just call it the Olympic Stadium because that's what it is. The view, again, questionable. There were some fans who were just right at the top. God knows how they saw anything because you need binoculars. But yeah, listen, it doesn't matter. 9,000 Leeds fans were the noisiest I've ever heard, especially with the first.
You could hear them. You could hear them. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Tanaka's goal, it was a bit of a delayed reaction, like a 1 second delay, because you actually can't see the ball. It went in and we thought, it's just a tap in from Stacker, whoever it was. But great goal from Tanaka. And that away end was just beyond carnage, Jerry. It really was. And we're in complete control, I felt. First half. Second half, when we came out, I thought we struggled a little bit, but we grew back into it and obviously got the penalty. It was a Stonewall penalty from where we were stood.
Yeah, it was a bang-on penalty,
But listen, I can't complain. I think 2-0 up, you think, like I said to you yesterday, we're Wembley bound here. And then I think when Tanaka came off, and you can't blame Fark. I know people sat little moaners on Twitter, Fark made those subs, bringing Tanaka off and whatnot. But actually, Nemecha, I thought, well, actually, bringing them off, bringing on Calvert-Lewin, making some positives, some of them coming on as well. It needed to be on because you thought, well, this is. I'm sure, like the West Ham fans felt themselves because they were all walking out in the 75th minute.
Yeah, I've no sympathy for people who leave the grounds early. I was saying this. When you leave, I see people, even out on the road, 85th minute, game in the balance, and our Leeds winning. I'm off now. Beats. What? Never leave. And it was brilliant to see them not being able to get back in. I don't care if it's West Ham. If it was Leeds fans, I'd say the same. You never leave. I've stayed at the Etihad 7-0 down. I remember Ellen Road, we lost 6-1 to Watford, 6 at Liverpool. We've had some hammerings over the years. Never left. You just stick it to the end. I remember when I was at, I think probably the last time I was at the London Stadium, we lost 3-1, and that was the nail in the coffin for relegation. And I waited till the end so I could turn around the team and give them a 2-finger salute because I felt bad that day. But I stayed till the end, and that was it. Someone says does this make up for the I think Michael Brown make up for the Ireland going out of the World Cup? It's a totally different thing. But the thing that struck me yesterday was in their team was Souček. He came on at half-time against Ireland. He came on at half-time against Leeds, pulled back a 2-0, scored his penalty, and I thought, no, surely this is not happening again. Thankfully it didn't. But anyway, that's an aside. That's it's funny. I was watching my team Dundalk on Friday night. They went 2-0 up and went back 2-0. So it's been a stressful week, but the team. I thought Tanaka, when he came in, he looked that player. The way he started the movement for the goal and his footwork to get the shot away was brilliant. And I think he's got a part to play in the run in. I think Stack. I didn't like to hear that ligament was mentioned, and I saw the picture of his ankle. At the time, I thought he blocked it, but in hindsight, looking at it, I thought, seen him given, that shouldn't possibly a penalty. If you look through the team, Perry comes in, and other than that mad moment where he was going to run out of the box, and he knew he was going to momentum, was probably going to carry, should have punched it, but headed up, and it was 3-2, and you thought that could have defined him, but actually he made a couple of good saves, really good saves, and the penalty shootouts. And he's had a great run in the cup, that great save against Birmingham. So it's funny, fine margins, sliding doors and all that. But I think he's certainly put himself in the frame. And it'd be interesting to see, does he retain his cup place right through to the finals? See what I did there. I think Goodmanson, I think about precautionary. Calvert-Lewin didn't start. So it was a strong team we put out, stronger than theirs. Yeah. And that's that could have easily played in the Premier League. I thought in the substitutions we did lose a bit when obviously we lost Stack and Tanaka. I thought Longstaff would have been a better option, but in fair play to Brendy, he was running, and I think Brendy's at this stage of the season a better substitute coming on, and he got in there for the penalty. He ran at them and he caused them a few problems. But we were in control. I think at one stage we had 69% possession. and going 1-0 up. And fair play to Calvert-Lewin when he came on. The ball's on that guy because he missed a bad penalty against Palace. And to take the ball again, he showed, and then to take the penalty in the penalty shootout. But hopefully that gets him back scoring again.
Yeah.
But at 2-0, we were cruising. We were in control. Willie is that little flick that could have gone just eased, and we always looked, we were exploiting spaces. Again, Willie came on, looks more time on the pitch, and he causes hassle. He gets the ball and he runs at people. And I think these players coming into the side towards the end of the season is important. Hopefully, Joe Rodon is okay. I think all of the back three took bangs to the head. I think Bial had about 3. He was excellent. I thought his head, he just does it, gets bad. Pascal, he got turned early on, but he does sometimes in the middle. But again, he battles. He won everything.
He did, and you look at that back three, as you say, and you just obviously watch it. Obviously, my first away game in a long time. You feel quite comfortable with them on the ball, and you don't worry. Yeah. It's probably you don't worry. And you think, yeah, they've got this. They're mopping up. Rodon, Bial, Stroud, all 3 of them just mop things up. Obviously, I know it was a bit of a freak kind of, in the extra time, it was a bit of a freak kind of goals and things, but they look comfortable. You can't argue with that. And you always look back at, when last time in the Premier League, we were leaking goals when actually here, yes, we've conceded 2 goals in the FA Cup quarter final, but they still look quite comfortable defensively. I couldn't really complain about them. The only one for me was probably Nemecha, who was just a little bit lost at points in the game.
Why was he booked? He got booked for the guy jumping over him. And there was again, the referee, Craig Pawson, geez. I think he was the guy that sent Pascal off a couple of years ago and accidentally did that injury to Harvey Elliott. And that's just the standard of refereeing, again, is poor. It was really, really poor. I was surprised he gave us the penalty, actually. I thought that. And why did they have to look at it for so long? It was clear. First one, bang, penalty. The VAR should be saying, nah, it's straight. You don't even have to look at this. You've given the right. It's a definite penalty. So, but you just 2-0, and then 11 minutes goes up. Where did 11 minutes go on? And that gives them a bit of a, we've got time here, and of course get a goal, and then they get another goal. And I thought, oh, this is going to be chopped off. I might even have texted you to say that. And you see, his foot, but apparently his foot was behind his head. But it's dangerous play. How? And then you're thinking they're going to win this. There's only one team going on to them. We'll just hang on. And great for the neutral, I bet, to watch. But again, I had to endure Ali McCoist, Darren Fletcher, the Bants. Danny Dyer's here. The fans have left. They're coming back. Did you like that pie yet? Just back off and stuff. Barry Davis, John Motson, Brian Moore, these guys, even Elton Wellesby, who people in the Northwest had no use to cover football. Even he was saying the standard is really low. They're just. I don't want to hear your jokes. You're in your bants. Drives me. Anyway,
I luckily didn't have to enjoy it. I was literally, because the way that second half, and I just want to touch on the injury time, Joe, because when they scored, obviously in the 93rd minute, or whenever it was, and you could feel it. And I know there's no atmosphere with the London Stadium, but the atmosphere completely changed. You think, oh God, here we go. Obviously the second one went in for them, and I think all 9,000 Leeds fans were stunned into silence with that. We really were, and we all were just looking at each other, going, "What the hell has just happened?"
This is what we do. This is the Leeds story. This is the story of unfairness and bad luck. And we've lost. We've pulled defeat from the jaws of victory, and you just could feel it. And even my other half came in to watch it with me for a while, and she was, I was going, yes, we're there, 2-0. And then all of a sudden, I'm on the punch bag.
I don't know how it changed, because Leeds was so dominant in that performance.
It happens.
It does
Momentum.
happen, doesn't it? And that
Yeah.
momentum just completely just changed. But with West Ham, they had the momentum. The crowd warmed up a little bit towards them at the end as well. You know,
Yeah.
obviously they had a couple of disallowed goals as well for offside. They're all clearly offside, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Yeah. There were. Yeah.
all offside. You know, you can't argue with them. But there is one player who I would like to mention, and Danny Dyer is the link there as well, is Jared Bowen. He,
Yeah.
for them, was just, and I have to say, he was superb. He really
He
was.
was. I mean, he was unlucky. He was unlucky with the headers, and he won't be there next season. I'm surprised he hasn't been
I
snapped
think
up.
if he goes down with West Ham, I tell you what, Leeds United, you need to get that checkbook out and sign him.
Yeah,
really
we nearly did a few years ago when he was at Hull. I remember him playing for Hull. With him and a Hungarian again, they ripped us to shreds that day, and I think we were linked with him at the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Danny Dyer is his father-in-law. Danny, fake hard man, isn't he? Yeah, back to your caravans, Danny, and Sky or whatever you do. Yeah, he's just. Oh no, I'm not going to go on about it. Doesn't matter. It just drives me mad.
But that whole period of extra time as well, Jerry. I don't know what it's like for you at home, but it was just awful to watch. It was just like,
and we had a chance as well. I can't remember what it was, but we did have a chance. And the keeper says, but then the keeper goes up for the ball cross and he lands awkwardly, and you think, and then you see the artful dodger warming up, and you thought, this is the story. This is it. Little young lad comes on, and they were desperate for it to happen. And the young lad's coming on. Look at his face and everything. And we didn't get a chance to have a shot, but you could see what it was coming. And it goes to penalties, and you just think, oh well, here we are. Apparently, I've asked Stats Dalton about this, Andrew Dalton, as we all know, and our penalty shootout record is, after yesterday, we've won 10, lost 9. Our first penalty shootout, which I thought was the Charity Shield in 74, but it was actually, we played Hibs in 72, 73, which we'll all remember, in the Cup Winners' Cup, and that was our first. So, and this is the first time we've had 3 penalty shootouts in a season. So there's the stats, thanks to Andrew Dalton. I knew he'd know. I asked him this morning. And of course, the penalties and this thing. When have you ever heard of a safety officer? I mean, I think the safety officer might have signed off injury time, although I know as Colin Heslop says that he's heard the breakdown of extra time and it sounded about right. Okay, but let's have some consistency. Well, a few weeks ago, I can't remember, it might have been the Brentford game for 4 minutes or something. I remember they started doing this in the World Cup, and I thought, yeah, this is about right. Add on the time. So it's consistency more than anything else. But when the penalties, and you think, well, here we go. And we've got enough decent players. Puru steps up, who was our penalty taker last year. He's missed one in the Sheffield shootout, missed one at Derby. And unfortunately, this was a poor one, and he missed it. And to be honest, Puru, I've said all season, I want him to do well and everything. When he came on, he was a bit anonymous, and I don't think it's going to happen for him. I think that we might be seeing the die. I wanted him to. So you go, and then you see Jared Bowen step up. We thought, we're under pressure already. And Perry, he said, Perry looks very young. You know, you see him, this big colossus. Now, he looks at me actually and thought, you're only a young lad with extra hair. But, you know, you're only and he said the data, Jared Bowen watched a lot, and the rest was just gut instinct. And saved. And then who stepped up next? It was Calvert-Lewin stepped up second. Yeah. And
Aronson, Brendan.
Aronson, put it away. And they missed one. So we were 3-2 up on Penn. Who scored the other one? Who scored the third? Who scored the third one? I'm trying to remember. It's all such a blur.
It was so stressful watching it, Jerry. It was really being in that ground. It was Nonto.
Nonto, yes, Willie, and then they missed again, and Perry said, and you step up Pascal, and my other half, she was watching intensely, and she, really good insights from someone. She said, Calvert-Lewin, look at his legs. Oh, he does look like a model. And Pascal, wow, he's gorgeous? And I said, no, he's gorgeous. We know he's gorgeous, and. Again, fine margin. That could have hit the post and out, but hit the post and went in. And all the way it's lifted, and you think, we're in the semi-finals, and it must have been joyous to be in that mob.
Honest to God, Jerry, it was. I can't describe what it was like, because it was just sheer joy everywhere. Because obviously it was when the second one went in. The majority of the fans thought, this is it. Like I said to you, we're through here. But obviously the way that, and I know it's ups and downs. It was a roller coaster journey of emotions. I have aged 10 years watching that in the flesh.
They do it to you.
But they do it, and it's like what Fark said. We was listening to on the way home. We do it the hard way. We don't ever do things the easy way, and it was just joyous all around. And we've all seen the videos. We've seen the limbs. We've seen the body. We've seen it all.
I think Fark was. I mean, I didn't think it was, but I went off on track there. But it's a safety officer signing off.
Oh yes,
not taking pens. I've never heard that before. How is it not safe to take penalties in front of Leeds fans? It's just ridiculous. And I say he probably signed off the extra time. And so even Fark, I love the way he said, I can't really talk about this, but he did, and he said enough to think this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That's I've never heard that. And some of the grounds you see all over Europe and in England and Scotland, and some of the home ends or away ends, which are really, strong, but that's football, isn't it? So that they said they did toss for it, but I don't know. I heard that and I thought that's the first time in my life I've ever heard that. But again, it's something that could have been amazing, or could have been a real talking point. That's not really anything now. So yeah, great celebrations, and then the draw was made pretty soon after. I think we'd have taken Southampton, then Chelsea, then Man City. So Chelsea, winnable, brittle team, one beaten against them this season. Prepare yourself for all the crap about 1970. I say crap, they'll beat us. But I think maybe to make it authentic, you should have a Horse of the Year show at Wembley, because that's what they did when we played Chelsea. When the Horse of the Year show was on Wembley, pitched about 2 weeks before. And the pitch was get Eddie Gray out there and let this time skin Ron Harris. That's going to be the talk. But so be it. It's great to be in this position. People, I know some comments there, will this affect our Premier League? I don't know, possibly. I don't think it will. We've got a big gap now. This time next week we're at Old Trafford. I
think it's going to do West Ham more than Ham for us. So they play on Friday night. They play Wolves in a must-win game for them. And when you were watching in extra time, both sets of players look absolutely knackered, and I mean knackered. And they've had, and with the extra time, it was effectively 2 football games which they've played in one afternoon there, with the amount of added time, the extra time, all that sort of stuff. It was a long shift for both teams, but it could do them. We've got an extra couple of days. The only thing that we do know with the Premier League is that our game has been moved forward rather than back. So it's been moved back.
I think Bournemouth game, from what I don't, as anything of my understanding, I heard rumour that
they moved it to the midweek now before the Chelsea game.
I don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but that's a long old trip for the fans down to Bournemouth. If you've ever been, Bournemouth is a 14,000 capacity stadium in the middle of a park, and somehow the Premier League. But anyway, that's a whole other story. And that's a tricky one. But I think before then we'll have played Wolves, won't we? At home, and if we'll know going into next week's game against Man United what we got to do. Spurs at Sunderland's not easy. Someone mentioned De Zerbi coming in. Who knows whether that make a difference? I think West Ham, Wolves. Wolves, nothing to lose. West Ham, you never know. Have they had their good moments? I don't know.
If I was looking at West Ham and I was watching them, so I'm going to watch them quite closely here, because obviously we're up against them in terms of relegation. They offered nothing going forward. They had no output. They were absolutely crap, if I'm being honest. For a good 70 minutes, they had a little good spell in the second half where they were going into it. But Leeds just soaked it up, and then they just started dominating. I looked at West Ham and thought, they are a team in trouble here. You know, they're not gonna win more games than Leeds this season before the end of it. I don't feel.
Yeah. Well, I did a thing on The View with Gerry Lynch. We all sort of what we thought each game for each team was going to end up, and on mine I had Leeds ended up on 44 points, I think, and I think West Ham going down by 1. And someone had everybody on 40 and West Ham on 39. So
it's going to be close.
I hope it's not. I hope we go down to West Ham next time and it's a picnic. I said that before. But let's next Monday we'll know what we have to do, and if we can get out at Old Trafford as a bonus. And the 2 home games. I think win the 2 home games, Burnley and Wolves, and I think we're almost there. But injuries and what have you, you think if Rodon's injured, do you think Justin will move into that back 3 and Goodmanson comes back? Stack will be a big miss. I think Longstaff is underutilized at the moment. I'd probably, like to see him coming back in at some stage, but he seems to be on the pecking order. I think Tanaka, I think he needs, maybe not Old Trafford, I don't know, but I think he has to play a bigger part in this. And DCL gets a go. And maybe players are streaky, so let's hope he does it.
Absolutely. I just want to jump into some of the comments. There's great comments coming in. We do read them all. Let's have a look here. Well, Daniel Fark becomes only the 4th Leeds United manager that leads to an FA Cup semi-final, following Don Revie, Jimmy Anfield, and Billy Bremner. That's a great stat, that, isn't it, Gerry? It's all right. It's a great stat, that. Great stat. And do you know what? Fair play to Fark. He's done something which the greats like Bielsa didn't do, or Leary. You could go back and you look at the crap in the FA Cup which we've had.
Or Wilkinson never did,
you look at Histon and bloody Crawley Town and bloody
Rochdale,
all that where we were the actual laughing stock. Histon, you're laughing stock over the last 20
and that
years.
Billy Bremner, I remember that year as well. We lost out in the playoffs when they used to be 2-legged games, and at replay, we were leading with 6 minutes to go and lost 2-1 against Charlton. Peter Shirtcliffe, everybody remembers that, and that ended up a really desolate season. This year, this year we've not spoken about it yet. Because we're going to win the FA Cup, we'll be playing in the Community Shield, and can't play Man United in Dublin and Croke Park, can we?
I'm going to mention that. Yes, of course, we've got that. Michael says, as I know Gerry goes regularly to Leeds match, will you try and get tickets? Yes, I'm a season ticket holder. I will be there.
You should, yeah.
I will be there. There's
no arrangements. There's no arrangements yet, but I hope it's not as chaotic as the playoff. Because I remember being online for 4 hours in a season ticket. I've got an away season ticket, so I'm not sure how all that. We were told that our away season ticket is okay up until the semi-finals. So I'm hoping we get that. Maybe book the season ticket. I don't know. My 2 boys might want to go. We'll see. But I hope all the right. Somebody texted me at fine. Have I said this already, or did I say that? No. Text me and said, "Oh, my son's in-laws. They're big Leeds fans, and can you get them 5 tickets?" I don't even know these people. Why? And yes, I said, good luck with that. Yeah. I don't know how they allocated it. It obviously won't be 50-50, but I think you probably get decent allocation.
I was looking at I've been looking, because I'm quite sad at this. I was looking at Forest and Palace, on their websites. They've still got it on. They were getting about 30,000, 33,000.
The Leeds will still sell that.
Yeah, I think with the FA Cup, I think they give a certain percentage to corporate and all that sort of stuff with it being there. So you're looking at about 33,000. I think season tickets will get running a couple of members, or 1,000. So listen, it's going to be crazy trying to get onto that. As I remember for the Championship playoff final, that was it just took all afternoon.
It was very. You got to the bit and then go error, and you're back 6,000 in line. It's one of the stats out of the weekend. Man City under Pep have been to Wembley 23 times, and they now don't. There's always empty seats at Man City's Wembley because they think we'll save it for the final. because it's an expensive day. But you get to that level, it's the fun is how different. I've always dreamed of being in a cup final with Leeds at Wembley and singing "Abide with Me" just before the game. I just want those moments, and whatever happens. And we've got just touched on it there. This game in Croke Park in Dublin. At friendlies, I could take or leave, to be honest. And but historically, we'll talk about. I think we need a whole podcast to talk about the historic element of this Croke Park and the history and Irish history and GAA and football and everything else. It's 80,000 capacity, and Leeds will get behind the goals. Hill 16, named after the 1916 Rising. And everything else goes on, but we'll have a podcast just to talk about that another day.
We will do.
We got to look forward to the end of the season, and we got league games coming up, and we've got hopefully Stack's okay. Hopefully Joe Rodon plays, and hopefully by end of next Monday night, nothing's changed at least, and or maybe things have moved on slightly. So I think we're looking for a good end to the season. It could be great.
It could be. I just want to touch on what Michael says here. If Chelsea or Man City make the Champions League, does that open the way for Southampton or Leeds to make the Europa League? No, doesn't. I was looking at this. They changed it a couple of years ago. The runner-up used to go to Europe, didn't they?
I think it goes the extra place in the league.
It's a shame that it really is.
You know what? If we went into the Europa League or Conference League, I think it might be a bit early for us. I mean, if we win the cup, so be it. We do. I'll take it, and I'd love it. But I just think it drains a team. Palace have struggled this year. I think even Forest. I think it drains us. So let's not worry too much about Europe. But we win the cup. We'll win the cup. That's another reason. If we win the cup, if we get relegated, that game doesn't happen in Dublin. If we win the cup, we're playing in the Community Shield, a charity shield, that weekend. There
is a couple of clauses with the Croke Park as well. As if Leeds stay in the Premier League, and there's they've put so many clauses in there that a PPI return refund scandal or whatever it is. There's so many clauses in there for it. But listen, we've got to enjoy this because, as I said, this has never happened in my lifetime, and I know there'll be other hundreds of thousands of Leeds fans out there who have never experienced this. But to be going to Wembley, Gerry, is for a semi. I know it's a semi-final, and we can say that it's just the only time I've been to Wembley is watching them in that bloody crap, the Championship and League One, and just to go down there and enjoy it rather than coming back depressed and thinking, oh God, we've got bloody Oxford away again or whatever. We've got all that. On that long journey back up the M1, it's just nice to kind of see it with semi-finalists.
I've been watching the Championship. I've been listening to EFL today while I was doing the grass, and you realise the intensity of it. It's constant, all the games and all the crap games and the struggle. And then you look at Leicester City, and they nearly lost to Sheffield Wednesday today. They haven't won all season. Or haven't won since September, and the financial implications of going down there. And we're still right in that mire, but don't want to go down. But these are good days, and let's enjoy it. As Jim Broken, congratulations to Scoobs. Absolutely. Lincoln have just ran away with that division. Absolutely fantastic, and a future Leeds manager there. You never know. He did all right when we had him, and fair play to him. That's good to see. And as I said to my Leicester mate, don't worry, Leicester Bromley could be one of those games next season, that you've never been. And it could be Leicester Bromley.
Leicester Bromley.
I tell this story all the time, coming back from the Southampton game, and all the Leicester fans were there with the flags on the bridge, giving us all the stick, and and it's interesting. Millwall lost today, so Ipswich, Nigel Farage's Ipswich could. I think it jumped into the promotion place. That's an absolute disgrace. That, and I hope Borough come up instead of them, because after that, but we'll go off on a tangent there. It's all about Leeds. We're in the semi-finals, and we've got, is it 7 games we've got now?
7 games to go. Obviously, the Premier League is important. We know that, but we've got something as a fan base. We can just unite, and if we don't win, we don't win, but we can just enjoy it. We can be proud of those players. It's an occasion, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, just enjoy it. And if we beat Chelsea, and let's remind ourselves, we beat them at Ellen Road and we drew with them at Stamford Bridge. They're there for the taking. You know, it can be done, and it's a semi-final. It's one game. It's all that matters. And who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. One moment I would have loved yesterday. I don't know if you could see this, but Barna had a shot that was dipping in the keeper. I would have loved to see him put one in the top corner. That would have been the best moment of the season. But maybe he's got a moment like that in him as well. But these players on the fringe need to step up, except your man we've got on loan, Buonanotte. Whatever happened to him?
Where is he? Yeah, where is he?
I don't know.
Know where he is.
Maddest transfer. He's not even on the lookout now. I want to see Sam Byron come on as a late sub against Man City to hold on to our 2-0 lead.
We don't do 2-0 leads, Jerry. We saw that yesterday. We don't do 2-0 leads.
I've had enough 2-0s to last a lifetime, and coming from behind.
Never again.
No matter. It's just one of those things. We came through it. We could have had a totally different tone today. Things could have gone. Minor things could have hit the post, could have turned into back of the net, and vice versa. Doesn't matter, you know. And they did well, the whole lot of them. And I'm delighted for them. Delighted for the likes of Perry, Tanaka, Pascal. You know, I heard this week Pascal's been chased by Liverpool and Villa and teams like that. I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He's always been seen as Pascal. He'll just be a bit player, and he's close to being player of the year this year. You know, just his general consistency and guts to take a penalty like that. You know, and my missus thinks he's gorgeous. So there you go.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, we'll be marching on to Wembley, Jerry, in a couple of weeks. It's the end of this month, isn't it? It's not May, it's end of this month. And it's going to be a grand occasion.
Yeah.
There won't be just 30,000 Leeds fans down there. There will be plenty more. There's no doubt about it. And
we have to get used to going to London. We get Monday nights to Spurs. That's it. That's not. It's hard enough to get Spurs on a Monday night. It's not going to be nice. We'll go to West Ham.
I was going to say to you as well, and I was so close to texting to you. I said, not only am I witnessing history, I'm witnessing Leeds win in London.
Yes.
We don't do London. But we have won in London. We've come away and got to the hat.
We're beaten in our last 4 in London now. You know, this one, Chelsea, Brentford and Palace. I know we've drawn them all, but it's breaking the mould.
Yeah, but it's the right way forwards, isn't it? So, but it's all good. So, well, I'll see you in the queue for the tickets when they're announced. When they're announced yet, there's nothing been announced.
There'll be a scramble, and there'll be. Yeah, I haven't got any tickets. Anybody? I'm not a ticket. I don't know. Don't ask. I have no tickets. Look after me and me 2 boys and a couple of friends, and if I can find any. But
it's always difficult. But listen, it's just the whole chaos of the kicking you out of the queue and whatnot. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Hopefully we'll sort it out. But hey ho.
I'll be there, hook by crook. Yeah.
We'll both be there.
My next door neighbour told me that he's a Newcastle fan. He knows 2 corporate places that he could get me if I needed it. So it's good to know if I needed it.
Yeah,
I'll be there. And I was gutted I wasn't there. Felt really strange. I think that's only the 4th one I've missed this year, home and away. And I'd rather watch with the Leeds fans than have to listen to morons talking drivel. Danny Dyer. Who'll be Man United? Who'll be next week at Man United? What celeb will have there? Beckham turns up or somebody.
Could be anybody. I don't know. Some famous YouTuber or something. I don't know. KSI. Why not?
No, we want to watch football. We want to hear just normal commentary. I don't want to hear. I'll say it again. I don't want to hear bants. I want to hear bants. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're going off on a tangent, Jerry.
Yeah. And I'm watching Dundalk still 2-0 up against the league leaders.
Excellent.
And the league battle. I know people say you can't support 2 teams. It's my team, my home team, and I can support them.
Absolutely, of course you can.
And I'll be trying to get over and see them. Hopefully they're playing close to the Leeds Man U game, and then I can make it a double header like I did last year. So there we go. We'll see. And thanks for the happy birthday, Michael. I wasn't.
Oh, yes.
I had a happy birthday in April Fool's Day, and I had mostly cough medicine and paracetamol because I was zonked. I was feeling really rough, but I made it to one of those old blokes who's telling you all about when we got to Wembley and we were in the semi-finals. Yes, I was there. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, happy birthday for them. I'm glad you're on the mend, and obviously we've got the running now, Gerry. There's lots to look forward to, and we need you fit and ready for the running.
Ready for next week, Old Trafford. Here we come, and hopefully as many get to Wembley as can be, and it's going to be some crack.
It is. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm still pinching myself now because, as I say, I've never experienced this, and it's just joyous. And we've got to enjoy it. That's all we need to do. Just enjoy it.
And it's about time we get noticed by the media, because I think looking at Leeds and the way we do all this and the fans, I think it's a unique club. It really is. You know, you look at some of the others and they've got the tourists and everything, and we don't. There's just you look at some of the Leeds fans and think, Jesus, yes, these are definitely Leeds fans. There's not a tourist among them there. They're hardcore and hard feckers, and you're glad to be part of them. So let's go and win a cup. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Let's go and win the bloody thing now. Let's go and win it.
Jim, thanks. I'd like a media pass, thank you. That'd be good.
Yeah, if you could tell that to the powers that need to be to put us in a media pass, then let us know. I don't know who we do, but why not?
We can talk. We've got a microphone. Yeah, we can do it.
We could do like the Ryan Reynolds thing that I think they commentated on them, didn't they?
I'd love to do that.
Why not? If they could do it, we could do it. They're useless, they don't have a clue. Anyway, we're way off on a tangent now. Gerry, rest up. Enjoy Old Trafford next Monday, and we'll be back on Tuesday to deflect, to digest and go through all that. And hopefully we'll go and get a nice result there, because that'd be great. Thank you to everybody who's watched, and don't forget, if you're watching on the pod, give us a subscribe and a like, and we will see you on the next one.
Come
on, Leeds. We're off to Wembley, Gerry. We're off to Wembley.
Wembley.
Wembley back.